The inventor thinks up helicopters. You need page 188. And you need your practice book. (188). This poem, we're going to be looking at the poem called The Inventor Thinks Up Helicopters. And in this poem, we're going to be listening for some... We will be, yes. You know this routine. We will be doing some alliteration. Who remembers what alliteration is from yesterday?
Yeah. Give me your spelling. We already did ours.
188.
188? What would me and Aubrey do? Start doing it. Start doing it. And play whatever.
I'm not going to talk over you, Chase. 188.
Will it be 92?
You haven't had a chance to practice. I have a spelling worksheet on the copy machine. So.
No, we're not doing a spelling worksheet. I've had a chance to practice and I'm good for it. What are you doing?
Not everybody has, because other people were doing their English during the English time. Page 188. What's alliteration before we start?
A poetry.
Who remembers what alliteration is from yesterday?
A type of poem.
It's a type of... Remember there was rhyming? Rhyming is like dog, log, bog. Alliteration is what?
Two words that start with the same letter that go together.
Yes, the words, two words that start the same that go together in the poem. So as I'm reading this, I want you to listen for some alliteration in this poem about the inventor thinks up helicopters. On page 188. So all of these poems are about how people figure out things, right? That's kind of what this unit is about.
The inventor
thinks up helicopters. Why not a vertical, whirling, winding bug that hops like a cricket crossing a rug, that swerves like a dragonfly testing his steering, twisting and veering, fleet as a beetle, up, down, left, right, bounce, bounce, day and night. It could land in a pasture the size of a dot. Why not? By Patricia Hubble. Did you hear any alliteration in there?
Why not?
No, not why not.
Jump and bounce?
No, those were rhyming. That's another part.
Twisting?
That's rhyming. Testing, twisting, I guess, would be alliteration. Yep. Whirling and winding would be alliteration. Yep. How about, did you guys hear any, what was the poet comparing the helicopter to in that story? A bug. He was comparing it to bugs. So that's called figurative language. It's using a different thing to describe a helicopter. So he was comparing the helicopter to a bug or a beetle. Did you hear the jounce, bounce, and the veering, steering? What kind of words are those? Rhyming. You guys can read to Flipgrid. It's on my desk if you can see it. They will go out there when they read. Can you find it?
Yeah.
Thanks. Ornithopter on page 190. And this one we are going to be doing our details and point of view from the ornithopter. And this is circa 1903 in Great Britain. All right, are you ready?
Yep.
The ornithopter. While observers were whooping and clapping, the pilot was happily snapping bird wings into place for a wild goose chase, and the plane was repeatedly flapping. But no matter the wind or weather, a pilot whose wings swing together on a plane so absurd as you think it's a bird needs an engine as light as a feather. So what is the author's point of view about the ornithopter? What does he think about the ornithopter? It's weird? Maybe weird would be a good thing? Different? Chloe? Like a bird? So it's silly, right? It's silly or an unusual invention. So in the point of view box, we're going to start on your bottom. Right? It is a silly, unusual invention.
On point of view.
Or it is a weird.
Point of view. Wait.
Let's do it. So you guys said weird and what was it? Different. Let's do weird and different. That's in our point of view. It is a weird and different invention. Different invention. Now we need to find some details that help prove that the author thinks this is a weird and different invention. What things did you hear in that poem that are details that would point to that this is weird? Yep, the wild goose chase. It says bird wings into place. Oh, the pilot was happily stamping bird wings into place for a wild goose chase. So the wild goose chase could be one of the details that tells you that. Because what do you do on a wild goose chase? Are you finding anything?
No, kind of.
When you say they're on a wild goose chase, are they really going to find the wild goose? No. So that's kind of silly, right? Anything else you heard in that poem that points to the author thinking it's weird or different? What other lines or phrases in that poem? Jack? As to think it's a bird, the engine as light as a feather. Is the engine going to be as light as a feather? No. So another detail could be engine as light as a feather. Did you hear in there on a plane so, what's that word after that? On a plane so absurd. What does absurd mean? Micah? Weird, yep. So on a plane so absurd. So do all of these point to the author's point of view that it's a weird and different invention, that ornithopter? Yes, it does. Turn to hot air balloon and also turn to page 98 in your reading workbook.
98
Yes. Right? Is it 98 that we're on? Or 99, sorry, 99, page 99. Page 99. We just did that page, Chase.
Wait, that's all we have to write?
It was only a short poem, Jack. There isn't a ton of details like last week with the cranes. You left lots of space, didn't you?
We have 2 hours left. Yeah, let's just do it though, so we get long ones.
Is everybody on page 99?
Yeah.
So this, we're going to be comparing, we're going to be doing our analysis writing. And we'll do it together again, you're right.
Wait, what page are we on?
Page 99.
Page 99 in the workbook.
Huh? Yeah. Yeah. Page 99. We're going to be, this is, well, All right, page 99. This is a poem, and it's gonna be a poem about the first hot air balloon flight, okay? I want you to think about the ornithopter that we just read about, that silly absurd invention, when we're reading about the hot air balloon, okay? Are you ready? This is from 1783. So the ornithopter was in 1903. This is like 200 years before, or 120 years before that. Sorry, not 200. And this was in France, yes. We stuffed the straw into a burner. We stroked it furiously. And ours was the first balloon to rise, merrily, airily. We might have gone much farther. We flew superhumanly, till our smart little cart started falling apart, sagging diagonally. Our adventure over Paris was a 25-minute flight, and who was there but Benjamin Franklin, waving without his kite, by J. Patrick Lewis. So, how did the brothers figure out how to fly? What were they doing? They were flying in a hot air balloon. What are the similarities between the two poems? What things are the same as the ornithopter and the hot air balloon?
They could both fly.
They were both flying.
And they're new.
They were new inventions at the time. How are they different?
They both don't have wings. They both don't have propellers.
Mm-hmm.
Different hats. Different shapings.
How long did the flight with the hot air balloon last?
25 minutes. Different faces.
25 minutes.
They don't need fire.
Did you guys notice merrily and airily? What kind of words are those? Rhyming words. So both poems were about how they were objects to fly. Was the hot air balloon successful? It flew for 25 minutes. So do we still have hot air balloons today? So I think it was probably a successful invention. Do we still have ornithopters today? Ornithopters with flapping wing planes? No. So they're.
That was created by Leonardo da Vinci.
Oh, did Leonardo da Vinci create the ornithopter? All right. So let's look at page 99 in your book. Writers use descriptive words and phrases when they're writing poems. Descriptions create pictures for people in their minds, right? So, evidence or details from the example that support the idea of the author. So what was the main idea? We're going to do it on the ornithopter one. Okay? So what would be a good topic sentence for us to write about the ornithopter? Jacob.
It looked like a bird. Or that one. Oh, yeah, it looks like a bird.
That might be a good detail sentence. Yes. Remember, we want to kind of have the author's point of view in the.
99 together?
We're doing 99 together in our topic sentence.
The ornithopter is a flying object.
Let's see. I like this word. I like that it starts with the ornithopter.
The ornithopter is a weird invention that looked like a bird. The ornithopter
Was a weird invention that looked like a bird. I like that. The topic sentence. On our details, or our evidence sentence? What are some words that would maybe go well with our topic sentence? What would be a good evidence sentence? Bentley?
The order factor was not a big success.
That could be our ending or our concluding sentence. But we need some evidence from the story about how it was weird like a bird. Is there any lines in that poem? You can go back and look at that poem if you need to. That kind of talk about how it was weird like a bird. Bentley?
It can only fly for 25 minutes.
That was the hot air balloon.
The ornithopter was a plane that was flying repeatedly.
Yes, I love that line. The plane was repeatedly flapping. I think that would be a great line for our evidence line. Ornithopter was, how about we put like a bird, or was repeatedly, how about we put flapping its wings, huh? Okay, and then our concluding statement.
What I said before.
Right, which was what? It was not a successful invention. Yeah. All right. Going to page 98 in your book. On page 98, you're going to circle the word with a digraph in each sentence. Who remember what a digraph is? Remember, a digraph is two consonants that make one sound like sh and ch and k and th.
It just turned 1 o'clock.
Okay? So it's two consonants that make one sound is a digraph. So you have to circle the word and write it on the line. And then on the bottom, it wants you to separate it wants you to pick the open syllable word. Remember last week in our reading book we had the closed syllable word that ended with a consonant and began a new one with a consonant? Yeah. Now it wants an open syllable. So your word is going to have a vowel, let's see, like frozen, right? Fro and zen are the two parts. Do you see how it's open with the vowel? The O?
Oh, yeah.
So that's what it means by open syllable for the bottom part. And then you write the two parts of the word on the line on page 98.
So it's like the syllables that count the syllables, kind of?
The words are two syllables long, but you have to decide which one is open and which one's closed. Like frozen is an open word because it ends in a vowel. That first section of the syllable, fro, would end with the O, right? And then zen would be the second part. Yes, Sophia.
What kind of frozen? Frozen 2 or frozen?
Doesn't matter. I just needed the word.
So can you repeat the number ones?
On the top, I got a new blank for my birthday. You're looking for the word that has a digraph. That's a word that has two consonants that say the same, to say one sound. Coat. Does coat have two consonants together that say one sound? Watch, because it has CH and CH says ch. That's a digraph. You circle it and write it on the noun.
Wait,
Yes.
I got a new coat for my birthday. I got a new.
They all make sense. You're looking. You have to circle and write. They all make sense. You need to find the one with the digraph in it. That means two consonants together that make one sound. Is NK like think? Well, think's a bad example. Like ink, a digraph?
No.
Because it's a it's a blend. It's a blend and not a digraph. A digraph is two consonants that only make one sound.
Would CK be